What's up, guys? Let's get right into the video. I have my babyless trimmers here, and I'm gonna make my first guideline. It's gonna be quick. Do not waste too much time doing this. It does not have to be perfect, because guess what? You're gonna blend the lines out. So I give it a little curve, then I get my clippers that I use to fade. I open the lever up, and I go about half an inch above that. It's a really simple, really quick step. Don't take too much time with it. Now I have my one guard, which is the 3 millimeters, and I'm going about half an inch again above that with the lever open. We're not gonna open or close. We're not gonna close the lever for the next couple steps. We're just gonna keep the lever open. Now I'm getting my 1.5 guard, which is the 4.5 millimeters, and I'm going all the way up to the, I guess, top of his braids, bottom of his braids. The point is, like, that's the last guard on this side. On the other side, we use a two guard because the braids are a little bit higher, and you're gonna see what I'm talking about. But for this specific side, I only use the 1.5 guard, which is the 4.5 millimeters, and that's as high as we go. And I'm flicking out towards the end to give it that dark look. I'm flicking out a lot. It doesn't look like it in the video because I don't have another angle, but I am flicking out a lot, and make sure you guys do that too. But braids are the easiest like literally I love doing braids because the blends, the tapers, the fades, they look sick. Don't forget to get the part behind the ear, which is what I'm doing right now. He had just gotten his braids done, so it already has a bunch of gel. I'm not worried about cutting any of his hairs because they're already gelled all the way down. Now I get back with my, I believe it's a 3 millimeters, which is my one guard open, and I'm going back that same line that I made with it. I'm just going back and I'm literally touching it up with my corners just to give it a smoother blend. And it's like I said, it's a really really fast process. We're already 2 minutes in. We're almost done with the taper. Now I'm going with my 1.5 millimeter, which is my half guard, and I'm doing the same exact thing. I'm not closing my lever yet. I'm just going back and flicking out that same line that I made with it. That same exact line that I made with it, I'm just going back and I'm flicking that out again. And you should know if you go a little too high, it's fine. You can always fix it. Now I'm closing it a tiny bit, like about halfway, and I'm just flicking out and getting that half line that I made with my lever open. Now I'm going back with my 3 millimeter guard, my one guard, and I'm just flicking that out. I feel like it's a little too dark up there, so I'm just going back. Like I said, it's not I haven't said it, but it's not always gonna be perfect. But I want to make it perfect, so that's what I'm doing right now. You don't have to if you don't want to. The blend was already good, but I just want to perfect that blend. Now I have no guard and I just have the lever open and I'm closing it as I go down towards that zero line. I don't want to get too high with this guard, so but if you need to, you have to. Like if the blend looks a little too dark, then you might just have to go a little bit higher. Don't get scared to go a little bit higher, guys, especially if you're barely learning. When you learn and you make mistakes, that's the easiest and fastest way to learn. So don't get scared. If you go too high, guess what? Hair grows back. And most of the time you're cutting people that you're cool with, so they shouldn't mind it too much. When I first started cutting hair, my worst problem was that I was too scared to mess people up because I started cutting hair in high school. So imagine you cut your friend's hair, they go to high school, you go to school the next day, and you get to see that messed up haircut the whole day. Other people know you did it. That's what I was scared of, people making fun of me. And then when I lost that fear, when I stopped fucking thinking about that, guess what? My haircuts came out super, super clean. So don't get scared. Fear is a limitation. Do not limit yourselves. You're barely learning, and guess what? Experience is the best teacher, failure is the best teacher. So get out there, cut some hair, all right? I use the 1.5 guard, which is the 4.5 millimeter on top of the lineup, and I do that just to get the hairs short, but not short enough that the lineup looks weird. We're still gonna add enhancements to the lineup, but I'm just going very, very faint. I can already kind of see the line that he comes like every 2 weeks. So when it comes time to do his lineup, I can already see where the lines are and everything. So it's a pretty fast process. If you guys want to skip over to the next side, we're almost done here. But if you want to skip over to the next side, it should be like in a couple like in a minute or 30 seconds. I always tilt my babyless trimmers when I do the lineup towards the end of the eye, of the outside part of the eye, from the top of the lineup to the outside part of the eye. That's the best way that I've found to make the lineups as straight as possible, where it looks like boxy, it doesn't look like a trapezoid, and it doesn't look like, I guess, a reverse trapezoid. The point is, always try to line them up to the end of the eye, and that's the way I found the most success in getting the crispiest lineups. Right here, I'm getting the back of his taper or his ear, and I want to make sure the lines are sharp. Sharp lines make the haircuts. I love sharp lines, so make sure your lines are sharp. Make sure your trimmers are set properly. If they're not set properly, take time out of your day to make sure they're set properly. A lot of times, that's what's holding you back. Now, let's get to the other side. It's a quick guideline, guys. I need you guys to understand that. It's a quick guideline. Don't waste too much time on it. I give it a little curve and I get on with it. Now I'm getting my clipper guard that I used to fade with the lever open, and I'm doing the same thing. And I kind of understand in my mind, I want both sides to be symmetrical. So I know that my half guard, I did it when the C cup starts curving. And this is my one guard, which is 3 millimeters. And I remember I ended it at the bottom of the lineup. So I'm doing the same thing on this side. I'm trying to keep both sides symmetrical. Um, on the last side, that's where I ended my guard. And on this side, this is exactly where I want to end my guard. So both sides are symmetrical. This is my 1.5 guard, 4.5 millimeter. And like I said on the previous side, this side is a little bit higher. You can kind of tell towards right there where I'm brushing towards the top. You can kind of tell it's still a little bit dark there. On the other side, the braids would have finished already, but this has just a little bit higher, and you got to work with that. If I put my 1.5 guard all the way up, it's gonna make one side look uneven, which is gonna be this side. It's gonna look too high. So guess what? There's an extra step on this one. We're gonna get the 2 guard pretty soon. But I'm just going half an inch up. I keep my lever open and I'm flicking out. Flicking is very important in this process because that's what avoids hard lines. When you avoid hard lines and you come back and you just know what guard to use, it's a lot easier than if you make really hard lines. So this is a 2 guard that I was talking about, and I'm going all the way to the top. And I'm flicking out. I'm sure you guys can see that I'm flicking out. I flick out on every single in every single step of this process, because, like I said, it just makes your whole life easier when you come back to blend. Now I'm going down to the 1 guard, which is a 3 millimeters, and I'm going right back. And you can see where I'm pointing. That's the fucking line that I'm trying to get, because I know that's where I left the line. Right? That's where I left my one line, and I'm just going back with it and I'm flicking it out a tiny bit. That's it. Now I'm going with the half guard and I'm with my 1.5 millimeter, and I'm going back and I'm getting that same line that I made with my half open, right? And I'm barely closing it a tiny bit. This is the only guard, I repeat, this is the only guard that I close the lever on. I don't close the lever on any other guard. It saves so much time. Trust me, you don't have to. I mean, if you have to, you have to, but I don't. So I know you don't have to, but if you want to, you can. Just so you know, detail a little bit, which is completely fine. You do what works best for you. Just because it works for me doesn't mean it's gonna work for you. I am not the best barber, and I know that. This is just how I cut hair. If it helps you, it helps you. If it doesn't help you, then learn from whatever mistakes I'm doing. I don't think I'm making any mistakes, but if you think I am, we'll learn from them. I'm just flicking out all the way, flicking out, and both sides. And this is real time, guys. This is real time. Yeah, like this is actually how long it takes me to cut hair. I am not skipping anything. The only thing I'm skipping is maybe like half a second or a second where it takes me to change guards. I really cut hair this fast, and I have to because all my haircuts are 30 minutes, so I don't really have time to, go over each step for like 10 seconds, 20, 30 seconds, or a whole minute. I don't have time for that because I have somebody every single 30 minutes. And I like the fact that I know I have somebody coming in because it gets me like, I have to step my game up. I have to get the freshest, crispiest fade possible in the shortest amount of time. I like that. This haircut I think took me about 20 minutes and it's honestly really easy. I love doing braids, guys. I fucking love doing braids because you don't have to take care of the top. So all that time that I would take cutting the top, guess what? I'm just taking it, perfecting this blend. And I don't even need that much time because I already know my steps. Once you know your steps, you stick to the script, you stick to your steps. Guess what? Your blends are gonna come out so good and they're gonna be so consistent no matter what you're cutting. If you stick to your steps, your haircuts are gonna be consistent. If your haircuts are consistent, more people are gonna want to get their haircut with you. It's a win 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 win. You look good, they look good, they come back, and at the end of the day, look, I don't want to say everything's about money, but I know you don't cut hair for free, so your pockets are gonna be more full the more you're consistent you are. The better you are with your customer service, the better you are with your uh, blade, with your blends, the more money you're gonna make. The more money you're gonna make, life is just easier when you have more money, okay, guys? So let's not kid ourselves. I know this is a haircutting video, but I also want to talk, about finances and other stuff. So right here, I'm adding a little bit of enhancements. I skipped some of it uh, because my big ass back was on the way, and I don't want you guys staring at my back for like 30 seconds. So I skipped, I think, the left part of it. Right now, I'm doing the right. I mean, the right side of it. I skipped the right side. Right now, I'm doing the left side, and pretty much done. I love doing enhancements, but very, very faint. If it's not faint to you, then I'm sorry, it is what it is. But that's how I like doing my enhancements. Now let's get to the back. The back is a little bit tough because he has those braids sticking out in the back, and I have to move them out of the way. But it's nothing we can't handle. I'm just shaving off the bottom, making sure that I mean, look at that blend. The blend looks sick. Like the blend looks nice. And I'm still what the heck? Oh my god! And I'm still going with the one guard, and I'm still trying to perfect it. See what I'm saying? Like to me, that blend was done. But I guess past me, I guess present me now, that blend was done. But past me in the video over here, he just wants to show off or something. I don't know what the hell he's doing, but I guess he just he just went over with the guard open. I don't know what the fuck he was doing there. I don't know. It was cool. I'm probably just trying to show off or something. Look at me, man. Anyway, let's get back to the video. I'm just lining up the back again, making sure the lines are sharp. And I'm sure a lot of people love sharp lines. There's some people that don't. You got to know what kind of clients in your chair and make sure you give them whatever they want. It's very important that you give them what they want. Look at me over here still detailing. God damn. I'm a dog. Um when it comes to customer service, guys, you don't want to be that guy that's cutting and not talking. You don't want it awkward. You want to make sure your communication skills are pretty good. You want to know what questions to ask. Um, what do you do for a living? What do you do for a living could make a long conversation, 10, 15-minute conversation. And when you can feel the conversation dying out, or when you find something you're passionate about and they're passionate about, go all deep in that conversation. For example, I love sports. A lot of guys are into sports, so that's very easy for me. If I see them looking at TV, because we most of the time we have sports on. If I see them looking at TV, I'll talk to them about sports, and we could talk about sports forever. You know, um, with the back of the taper, somebody asked me one time why I give this little curve. The reason why I give this little curve is because at the end, right here, right there in that spot, it gives that line. It makes it go lower towards the neck, and as opposed to if I were to make a straight line with a curve, it looks darker at the bottom more. I don't know if I'm explaining that correctly, but that's the reason for the curve. It just gives it like a nice little blend, and I love doing it like that. I've done it like that ever since I first started. Sorry if I'm a little sick, guys. I'm sure you guys can hear it. Right now, I have my one guard, and I'm going with the lever open. This is a 3 millimeters. I'm going with the lever open, about half an inch. Now I have my 1.5 guard, 4.5 millimeters, and I'm going about half an inch up. And it doesn't reach all the way to the top, so we're gonna need to use another guard. Don't try to skip steps when it comes to this part. If it takes you up to the 2 guard, then use the 2 guard. If it takes you up to the 3 guard, use the 3 guard. The more guards you use, the more blurry it's gonna be. In terms of how low the fade is. For example, this taper specifically started pretty low at the bottom of his. This is a 2 guard, by the way, guys. It started pretty low. So guess what? That means I'm gonna have to use a lot of guards. That's just the way it is. I don't want to skip that. Um, if not, it wouldn't look good as it looks as it's gonna look towards the end. You guys are gonna see. Point I'm trying to make is if it takes you up to the 2 guard, then use a 2 guard. If it takes you up to the 3 guard, use a 3 guard. Just go up half an inch every single guard. Keep the lever open, and then come back down. And the reason why I'm telling you guys to go up at half an inch is because a lot of people can't gauge or can't predict how to blend from the 2 down to the 1 without making these guidelines. But when you make these guidelines, you can still see a little bit of where you made them, so it's a lot easier for you guys to come back and take them out. That's why I'm blending this way. I usually don't do it like this. I'm doing this just to teach you guys. I usually go straight from the 2, then to the 1.5, then to the 1, then to the half, and I don't use any guidelines at all because I already know where I need to stop cutting because I've been cutting for so long. But for people that haven't been cutting for so long, I'm making these steps so you guys can go along with it. This is my 1.5 guard. This is my half guard, 1.5 millimeter guard. You see how I keep brushing the hair? You're gonna see me keep brushing the hair, and you're gonna see me go in different directions because his hair grows in different directions. Make sure you're always cutting against the grain, always. Now I'm just getting the zero line all the way at the bottom, and the blend is basically done. Like that's it. We're gonna add a little bit of enhancements. We're gonna make these lines sharp, sharp, sharp. Cause I'm gonna take a video. I'm gonna post it obviously here on YouTube. I'm gonna post it on Instagram. Um, I think you guys can see the time in the back. Here, hold up. All right, now you can see the time. It's 1:16, and I believe I started this haircut at like 12:45 or 12:50, and we're basically done. I was done. Probably I could have been done probably like 5 minutes ago. What I'm trying to say is the haircut should not take me 30 minutes. This one took me 30 minutes because I put enhancements. I was making this video. Um, I took a before, I took an after. Um, but this video specifically was like 21 minutes long, and I cut it, no, like 20 minutes long, and I cut it down to 19 minutes, which means we're almost done. Uh, Now I'm just gonna use the. Sorry guys, I'm blowing my nose because like it's literally like fucking. I feel all the mucus in my fucking throat, and I can barely talk. I'm just using my blade, and that's it. We're basically done with the haircut. So let me give you guys some quick advice, and I'm gonna try to give some advice every single haircut. But guys, work on your customer skills. That's the number one way to get people to come back to your chair. If a walk-in comes into your chair, I don't want you to think of them as like, hey, I'm gonna make $40 or $50 or $60, whatever you charge. No, you should not be thinking that way. You should be thinking, how the hell am I gonna get this guy to come back to me? Guy or girl, we don't discriminate around here. How am I gonna get this person to come back to me? And the best way to do that is to build a connection with them. Make them like I said, I think I say this in a lot of my videos. It's like when you go to a restaurant and the waitress or waiter is really good, and you kind of almost feel bad if you don't leave them a tip because they took care of you. They were always there. They always catered to your needs. You feel bad if you don't give them a tip. And when you have bad service, you really don't care if you leave a tip or not. So be a good uh, service provider, and they'll come back to you. This is the end of the video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll try to upload more often. Thank you guys for watching.